Hello, happy and smart developers. Welcome to the coding boat. This is series of UI technologies and this is part 4 of input control element. So let's begin the session. Today we are going to discuss multiple attribute. Multiple attribute is a boolean attribute. Boolean means yes or no, on or off, correct? Now, in HTML5, multiple boolean attribute indicates multiple files or values can be passed. Now, multiple attribute can be applied only to file, select and email type input controls. Let's understand this with practical example. So here is our editor, Notepad++. Here I am creating one form. For that, HTML opening and closing HTML. Then we have head section, head opening, and we have head closing. Then we have body opening and then we have body closing. Okay, in head section I am writing title. What is the title? Part 4 input control element. Okay, in body section I am making use of form tag. I am making use of form opening and form closing. In form we have action. As we are not doing any particular action, I am mentioning hash. Now in form we have input control elements. Let's take label for name, then we have slash label, then we have input type is equals to text. Okay, name is equals to fname. Similarly we have another label for last name, for lname, last name, and here we have input box, name is lname. Okay, then we have gender, label for equal to gen, name is gender, and slash label. Okay, then we have another label for what? For male and male, and then we have slash label, and for this label we have input type is equals to radio, name is equals to gen. Okay, id is equals to radio 1. Then we have another radio button for female label. Okay, for female, type radio, name Jane, and ID is radio 2. For proper formatting we will be using br tag. Okay, in small letters, br tag, and then for last name br, then for gender male, female, then we have radio, submit button, input type is equals to submit, value is equals to submit. Let's save the code and save the code with what we can say input control element part-4 .html. Save the code. See, let's check the output. So this is our final output. For name this, for surname this, and for male and female, then submit. But here we want to make use of multiple attributes. So what I will do, input type is equals to file. Okay, name is equals to file, and again here br. Just observe the output. See, choose file. Now I am getting choose file option. Here I am able to select file 1 or file 2, either file 1 or either file 2, but I can't select both. Correct. So what I will do, I will make use of multiple attribute here, multiple, where in line number 22 where input type is file, I have make use of multiple attribute. Now let's save the code and we are going to refresh. See here, choose file. Now I want to select both files. So what I will do, I will select control and file 1, file 2. Both files are selected. So multiple attribute is used to pass multiple values. See here, here also you are getting, see here, choose no file chooser. Now I have choose two files, file 1, file 2, open. So what option I am getting? Two files. See here, beside choose files we have two files. Correct, means multiple files can be selected now. Okay, now let's move on. Placeholder. What is placeholder? Why we use placeholder? That we will understand. Suppose we want to give some hint to end user, then we make use of placeholder. Where we use placeholder? In input element, input control elements. In at line number 8 I am making use of placeholder attribute. Placeholder is equals to enter your first name. Okay, this message I have written. Let's save the code and refresh. See here, what I'm getting, one message is displaying enter your first name. Now what I will do, I will do some changes at line number 12. What I will write, I will write placeholder attribute with message enter your last name, and now save the code and here refresh. So with the help of placeholder we can give hint to end user what to type. Correct. Now let's move on. Placeholder gives a hint to the user of what can be entered in the input control. Correct. Now autocomplete. What is autocomplete? See, the autocomplete attribute specifies whether a form or an input field should have autocomplete on or off. The autocomplete attribute specifies whether a form or an input field, we can say input control element, should have autocomplete on or off. Autocomplete allows the browser to predict the value. Autocomplete allows the browser to predict the value. When a user starts to type in a field, the browser should display options to fill in the field based on earlier typed values. So what does it mean? Basically it is telling that if autocomplete attributes we have used, then it can be either on or it can be off. If it is on, then browser will give prompt message or browser will predict what value can be entered. That value will be displayed and user just need to select that value without typing, so that that value will be entered in that particular input control element. Now see, observe, autocomplete can be used in two places. What are those? One is form and another one is input control element. One is form and another one is input control element. If we use autocomplete in form tag, then complete form can be complete values of input elements will be predicted by the browser. But if we specifically use autocomplete for particular input control element, then browser will predict value for that particular input control element only. Understood? Let's me show it practically. See here, form action at line number 6. So here I can write autocomplete is equals to on. Now what will happen? Whenever I will enter my name, whenever I will try to enter my name, last name or gender, then automatically browser will try to implement, or automatically browser will give some options to enter value. So it will prompt me some name. Correct. So I will not have to type my name in that input box. Instead of that, I will select that prompt message and that value will be entered in that input box. But suppose I am not using this autocomplete attribute at form level and I am using at just we can say last name input control element, then the prediction will be done at this particular input control element only. Understood? So this is the magic of autocomplete on or of attribute of input control element. Now I want to show how to create drop down list in HTML. So let's move to code. This is our previous output. Okay, now what I will do, after selecting file, I want to create one drop down list. In drop down list, what I will make use of select attribute. Okay, select slash select. Then we have option attribute. Then we have option tag, not attribute. In select tag we have option tag. So how many options I want, those many option attribute I will use. I want 3. Okay, and one is default. Select course, HTML. Okay, CSS. Then we have JavaScript. Save the code and refresh. See, here we have one drop down list. Select course. So we have HTML, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript, but we are able to select only one option, correct? But what if we want to select multiple? Then we will make use of multiple boolean attribute. Save the code and refresh. See here, I can select multiple options. I am selecting HTML and CSS both. In this way we can create drop down list and we can select multiple options from that drop down list. But suppose I want to keep one course already selected. For that I have one attribute selected. This is boolean attribute. Okay, so by default CSS will be selected. See, let me refresh the browser. See here, CSS is already selected. Understood? Let me remove this selected from line number 28. Save the code and refresh. Now CSS is not selected. Now let's remove multiple from line number 25 and save the code. Let's refresh. What is it? Select course. Now I want to keep selected JavaScript. At line number 29 I am using selected. Save the code and refresh. See here, JavaScript is already selected. So in this way we can create drop down list. We can select any option as per our requirement. If we use multiple attribute, then we can select multiple options, and if we use selected attribute, then by default one option will be selected, or multiple option also can be selected. See, at line number 28 also I am using selected. Line number 28 we have CSS, but for that we have to make use of multiple at line number 26. Now refresh. What happened? At line number 25 I have to use multiple, not at line number 6. Save the code and refresh. See here, CSS and JavaScript both are selected by default. I hope you have understood autocomplete, focus, drop down list, not focus, placeholder, and multiple attribute also. So that's it in this session. Let's meet in another session. Thank you.